Hey, it's Chase from On the Table Gaming, and today we're going to be sharing some never-before-seen art animations left over from the Sorcery Contested Realm launch trailer as we open up a first edition printed sample pack that Simon was kind enough to send our way as a thank you for our work on the Sorcery Contested Realm launch trailer. Now, before we get started, make sure you've seen the Sorcery Contested Realms launch trailer, as it's the good stuff. And as a disclaimer, all the other assets you're going to see sprinkled throughout this video were never finished. But for die-hard fans, we thought you might be curious about what might have been. One of the cool things about Sorcery Contested Realm is that it's played out on a grid, and you'll get a glimpse of this background in the official trailer. This was one of the establishing shots we were considering to set the stage for the play space. You know, I absolutely love this art. It might be one of my favorites in the entire game, but sadly it didn't fit with the direction the video was headed, so you just get glimpses of the board in the background of the video with no lead-in shot, as we wanted to focus more on the cards themselves. Speaking of cards, we've got our hands on a Sorcery Contested Realm First Edition test booster pack to open. So let's start it on that. And we're going to make a quick cut across. Let's make sure we get this right. That would be really awkward if we cut them. The backs of the cards are so cool. And no way, got Minor Explosion. This is actually one of my favorite cards. I don't know why, but it really hits the nostalgia factor hard for me. This is one of the pieces that was in our initial animations for the trailer. We only got halfway through animating it when we switched directions, but I've always wondered what could have been. And then we've got Sandstorm, an ordinary aura of blistering confusion with art by Drew Tucker. Yeah, I'm a big fan of how Sorcery treats the art with such respect. If you look at like other card games, the way their text takes up so much of the card, and the layouts on these are just perfect. And we've got an unland eel here, an ordinary beast of the deadly depth. The edges of the cards was something that Erik was very specific with in the video, and he spent a lot of time making sure that the cards themselves were perfect. That was one of the most important things that he wanted to translate over in the video itself. There's also sites in Sorcery Contested Realm, and we've got a site, and it's Remote Desert, an ordinary site of ruinous fire. We went with the Pillar of Zeros as the focal site in the trailer, but the first site that we ever animated was actually the Windmill, which we ended up putting in unanimated in the background. It's just one of the regular cards. We've got some cave trolls, ordinary monsters digging in the dirt. I'm actually quite familiar with these, as before doing the video, Simon had us play a bunch of games on Tabletop Simulator. So we'd be familiar with how the game played and to have like a sense of like how the cards felt. And then we've got Gnomes, I think. An ordinary spirit crops up unexpectedly. Speaking of spirits, we really wanted to find a place for the occult ritual art in the trailer, maybe as like a transition scene, but it didn't fit, so the animation never got finished past this first rough cut. We've also got Ogre Goons. These ordinary monsters are out of control. Yeah, again, I just love this art. Andrea Modesti, tip of the hat. These scent hounds are gorgeous. I love a lot of the feel of a lot of this earth art, and this just really hits it. We've also got Sidewind, ordinary magic to adjust the course. Speaking of sides, we had this piece of animation as an extra piece to possibly use for a sideways transition. Bonus points in the comments if you know the card name and artist for this piece. Then we've got Wild Boars, ordinary beasts of bold black bristle. Man, this would have been cool to animate with the grass and like eyes in the dark. Yeah, I just think like it's just crazy how good the art in this game is. And we've got plenty left to go. Oh, perfect. Okay, so Erik was really hands-on in the shots for the trailer, but I remember before one of our early meetings, you know, he'd shared some assets for us to think over, and I just started messing around with this one just for fun while waiting for our team to assemble on voice to talk. And so maybe we had like 15 minutes on it just for fun. And then when we were all able to talk and had our meeting, it was clear that we wouldn't be using it in the video. That wasn't the direction we're going in, but I had done like just a quick thing with it. And yes, okay, major explosion. This piece of art was the last scene put into the trailer, and we were running short on time and trying to figure out how we wanted the cards on the table to burn up and how that scene was going to look out exactly. And this might be the most significant card to me emotionally from the whole trailer, just from the time put in. And so it's elite magic of tremendous destruction. Wow. It's so cool to have this card like in the physical, in my hand. The Trill Whopper, an exceptional beast of tooth, claw, and horn. This little fella has all the keyword abilities of dead minions. That seems dangerous. And speaking of actually maybe dead things, the original sorcery intro concept was based more off the image on the website, a much less dramatic start for the video. And you can see in this early footage, some of the proportions on the cards are off on the table and are a little floating in the space, a little too much. Still pretty rough. Then we've got Rain of Arrows, exceptional magic that delivers death from above. This could have been a cool one to animate. There's a lot of moving bits and details in there. And then last but not least, we have the Sylvan Scout, an exceptional mortal surveys the scene. And that's our booster pack. So thank you so much to all the folks over at Sorcery Contested Realm, for the opportunity to work with you, the booster pack, and congratulations on the success of your game. And here's our original alpha animation on the sorcerer art before we polished it up and really made it work into what you see in the final trailer. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, we look forward to getting sorcery on the table.